will kick it away. And the Buffs will bring it out to the 25-yard line. So Ryan Staub making his second career start. On first down, the handoff goes to Micah Welch, who gets mauled by Eddie Walls. It's a TFL, a loss of 2. Welch goes wide. On a quick slant, that's Joseph Williams. Slipped the first tackle. And he's going to set up a third and about 2 as we look at impact players built. Miles Parker checking in for Allen. They run it right up the middle. And they saw the weakness and they attacked it. It's a 2 running backs in for Colorado, DeKalen Taylor and Simeon Price. And it's Price who battering rams his way to the 39-yard line, a gain of about 3. Called it the best O-line he's had in his 3 years in Boulder. Staub able to find a man over the middle. Draylon Miller into Houston territory.
Run routes for him with urgency.
Again, the 2-back look, a little RPO. That's Sincere Brown. Stopped in his tracks, a gain of 2. To Houston in the offseason, closer to his home of Cypress, Texas. And on first down, he hands it off to the Rice transfer, Dean Connors, who gives this Houston offense some much-needed breathing room.
And that's what we talk about.
Against his old team. He gets it out of the backfield. First down and more. He's got that elusive speed, according to the coaches.
The 2, Connors and Burnett, that running game's going to be almost unstoppable.
Off play action, Weigman chased by Wade. And for a guy who was billed as a pocket passer, you see enough of that. Yeah. Koziel 9 in red, their #1 pass target. That's who they go to on third down. They say he's there, Kelsey. Play action. Weigman off his back foot. Dangerous throw.
What a catch.
And coming back to make the catch is Amari Thomas.
They really like him. Coach Prime spent a great deal of time last night talking about him. He slips down in coverage. And
this one shy of his career long. And Sanchez with enough leg to get it over from 52. Came over from Washington State. He was the top-graded interior D lineman in the Big 12 last week. Out of the backfield, here is Taylor. Perimeter block from his tight end, Atkins, after David Ndukwe was carted off on the last series. On first down, they run on the right side. Weigman into the open field. It's a foot race. And finally forced out by Carter Stoutmeyer.
It slows you down. But everybody thought Dean Connors was getting the football. Connor Weigman takes off, hides it well, and gets tracked down.
That's Dean Connors, plural. And he rumbles to the 25-yard line.
His last 3 throws.
Stephon Johnson, the motion man. Pocket collapsing. Weigman throws downfield. Complete to Thomas. First and goal, Houston. Flag. 2 tight ends into the game with McGarry and Koziel. Connors zonkers his way into the end zone for 6. That's our Big 12 Operations Center. Getting a look at what they are looking at in the replay command center. And so the ruling upheld. It is indeed a touchdown for Connors. And Houston has had the ball twice. They have marched down the field twice. First drive started at the 3. This last one. Simeon Price is the running back. Staub dancing, hit from behind. That's Khalil Laufau.
And we talked about him being, he is the definition of it as a defensive lineman. Plays to the whistle. That's one of the things.
Now 2nd and 16. Staub able to complete, and that is Omarion Miller.
That's huge.
Last week with a hand.
That's ever happened.
This is Stacy Sneed for a gain of a couple.
Sneed is
senior.
Sort of there's change.
Empty set with the running back, Sneed, split out to the top of your screen. Weigman on the check down. There's Stephon Johnson, dangerous in space. First down, and then some more, and finally brought down by Hodge.
Here we go.
That's a big pendulum swing. All of a sudden, it's now first down and 10 inside the Colorado 40 as opposed to 3rd and 23. And Stacy Sneed fighting through tackles and shoulders first down.
Yeah, he's the change-up back that we told you about earlier, but he can run between the tackles and kind of
cozy all motions. Back to Sneed.
This is exactly, Anise, the game plan that Georgia Tech kind of...
I think Paul Johnson blushed. Sneed spun down in the backfield. That's Keaton Wade.
Yeah, he beat Cedric Melton, just beat him.
A 43-yarder for Sanchez, who has hit from 52. (13-0) Houston,
when Colorado's had to pass the football.
Michael Welch looking for running room, ran into big Carlos Allen, who stays with him and gets the tackle. And again,
the center, but nothing downfield for this passing game of the Buffaloes.
There comes the blitz. Staub moves the pocket, wants Welch to block. All right, Andre, I'll pose this question to you. And Ryan Staub, the 3rd stringer coming into the year, getting his first start of the season, 2nd of his career tonight, as Stacy Sneed picks up 2 before Reginald Hughes greets him. On 3rd down, it's a 4-man rush. Staub will make a run for it, gets the corner, gets the first down.
Finally getting things going offensively.
Another 2-back look. This is to Kalen Taylor. Breaks a tackle in the backfield and turbos forward to about the 40. They thought they would be better running the football because they're better up front. They set up the screen here, and that's Omarion Miller.
Well, talking to and get him into space, but haven't been able to do that tonight.
They changed the spot again, so it sets up a 3rd and short. It doesn't matter. Colorado converts. This drive extended because of the pass interference on Houston on 3rd down. Right up the gut. Simeon Price makes a house call. 38 yards. Colorado on the board.
With Allen out of the game, it's there for Colorado. They get some nice blocks between the center and 2 guards. They get by. That's what we did to win games, and that's what it took. That's where the talent was on our offense.
You were doing a lot of what Connor Weigman just did.
Yes.
Get the ball back and get a touchdown. You take the lead. Houston jumped out to a 13-0 lead. And the nickel blitz. Koziol the catch. Turns upfield. He had 94 catches a year ago. Not only 6th in the nation, but a transfer from Ball State. Here comes Connors. He sledgehammers inside the 35. What used to be the 3rd and 3 calls, now the 2nd and 3 calls. Sometimes vice versa as Weigman moves the chains on 3rd down and short. Sneed met in the backfield, and that's going to be a loss of a couple. Sanchez on for a field goal attempt. Kick is up and good. Colorado starts from its own 12. Staub in this spot a week ago engineered a late touchdown drive against Delaware.
Those 4 drives, just 42 yards and 4 punts.
First down momentarily stops the clock. Staub chased from the backside. Shovel pass. That's Omarion Miller. He's got space into Houston territory inside the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 36. Hakeem Williams, the motion man. Deep drop by Staub. Throws to Welch. Juggles. Caught it. He's got space. And Welch thunders inside the 20. Finally brought down by Jalen Garner. 35 seconds to go in the half. Four-man rush. Staub. Big hole up the middle. Staub toward the end zone. Ball pops out. And it's covered up by Colorado. And it's a Buffalo's touchdown.
His teammates, he gets... The rush didn't get there. I think he's down before the ball pops out into the end zone. But he is not going to slide. He's as tough as they come. He plays hard, and we see it on that play. But I think that one's going to be just shy of the goal line.
Well, here's the thing. Atkins,
I don't know. It
recovered
touched
in the end zone. But at any point, if
late in the second quarter,
Houston balanced in that first half. Here's the blitz. Weigman in trouble. Connors on the wheel with a diving catch to bail out his quarterback.
Andre.
That's a backwards pass. Stephon Johnson in space. Runs out of bounds in front of Vickers.
And he's lining up to that side, aiding in pass protection.
They go back to Connors, who's wrestled to the ground at the line of scrimmage. Speed option. Connors, the pitch man, breaks the tackle. And then finally tripped up by the safety. Finisset
has kind of owned the line of scrimmage since the second quarter.
There's the snap. Weigman bouncing off his lineman and picks up the first down.
A lot of guys in the box for Colorado.
Weigman checks down. There's Johnson. Cross midfield. Spin cycles.
Fired because if he doesn't bring Koziel down, it is off to the races.
That's a big first down run. Snead has some room and escorted out of bounds by Hodge, the nickelback. Hard count. Weigman on fourth down, able to convert. Amari Thomas for a first down. Another run play. Weigman keeps the hurdle. Lands awkwardly at the 27. Colorado with the all-out blitz. Weigman on the quick out. And that is a catch inbounds. It's going to be shy of the line to gain. Stephon Johnson, 43 and 47 from 35. His fourth field goal of the game.
Can get to the finish line with the Cougars at left guard.
Another speed option. Dean Connors. First down and more. 11 carries, 48 yards, and a touchdown for Connors. The quarterback, Weigman, Houston's leading rusher tonight. As an open receiver, and Stephon Johnson comes back to make the catch at the Colorado 45. Colorado crowds the box. Connors breaks free. A gain of 8 for Dean Connors. Looks like another quarterback sneak. Weigman under center. Over his right guard. He's got the first down. I know when quarterbacks... Connors looked like he wanted to throw. Changing directions. His quarterback throws him a block. Connors for the pylon. Did he get there?
Throwing his body on the line to help his buddy get in the end zone.
Rolling on the field with a touchdown.
But it lands right on his right shoulder. Boy, did he hit a gear or what, Anish? I think that's going to stand.
A 19-yard touchdown run. If the call on the field is upheld, that's the new verbiage this year. We've gone away from confirmed in stands.
And he is up.
Houston's had some injuries tonight. A couple of offensive linemen going down. Connors.
Tell you what, they lost a good one after the first week. Jamarian Burnett, who kind of had an accident getting a scooter out of a car. He may be the best back in the program. He's out, but when you couple him with Connors.
Weigman under center. Quarterback sneak. Touchdown is the signal.
Nice job of just kind of feeling his way for a soft spot is Connor Weigman, and they get just enough push for him to get over the goal line. And
UCLA, the former Tennessee quarterback, and not gone so good.
Boy, it is rough out there.
Staub. And that's a covered sack. Eddie Walls. Houston dropped 8, nobody open.
Yeah, you need to just keep an eye on every receiver. This is zone, but he kind of becomes man within the zone. So if a guy comes into your area, you're going to lock on, and that's just a coverage sack. Nowhere to go with a football for Ryan Staub. That allows Eddie Walls III to get home and pick up a sack. He should thank the secondary and the linebackers.
Some seams, especially vertically, straight up the gut, and he can run. So you got to keep him in the pocket, and then you got to cover this a little bit longer. But we can keep him in the pocket. Well, I think we can do some good things.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
For Colorado.
Yeah, Blake Thompson, he fought his way back from a shoulder injury, but this is just a bad throw because of the pressure that the Cougars are applying on Ryan Staub. It's a forced throw.
The fake to Connors. Weigman loads up. Has a man downfield. It's caught. Stephon Johnson. First and goal, Houston.
Primed for a breakout game. Only one catch in the first 2 weeks. A little stop and go route, and he's got tremendous speed.
A gain of 54. First 100-yard game of Johnson's career. Weigman, a couple of juke moves, and that might be the dagger with 11:39.
But what a run. This is a designed quarterback draw, and he makes Hughes miss first and then gets himself into the end zone. But Reginald Hughes, they are going to talk about that one, my man, in the film room. And then Byard as well was the second defender that he made miss. But it was all set up, the ability to make plays with his legs, but it brings an added dimension to this Cougar offense.
That's a short completion to Michael Welch. Meanwhile, Willie Fritz.
Because you saw the interview he did with Cart, barely could talk. So he's got that megaphone.
Taylor pinballs his way for first down.
And then he covers. Ryan Staub had some success in throwing the ball.
They're just getting rid of it quickly.
Yeah.
Pigeon catch, Hakeem Williams. These next 10. High snap. Welch wrestled down in the backfield. 11 tackles.
And just sick last week, and then a willing tackler. You know, he's a guy that's been a nice couple of hires, 2 new coordinators for the Cougars.
And Connors, part of the transfer portal haul. Connors, Koziel coming from.
Really hadn't given him a whole lot to throw to.
Connors on 4th down.
Ooh, that's
going to blow lows.
And that's when they had their best success with Ryan Staub on the field.
Staub empties it out. Quick throw. And that is a catch. Draylon Miller. Jimmy Horns with the Panthers. Weaver with the Cardinals. Wester with the Ravens. Simeon Price back across the original line of scrimmage. On 4th down. Staub chased. He'll run for it. He's got the first and much more. But a flag is down in the backfield.
This one could be coming back.
Cornerback Latrell McCutcheon.
On the outside, working against Xavier Hill. And just in his attempt to pass rush, kind of gets that left hand up around the face mask.
Not a lot downfield for Staub. He'll take another shot in traffic and caught by Joseph Williams for a touchdown.
Oh, what a throw by Staub. That's kind of what this offense has been waiting on. He can play inside, he can play outside, but it's the eyes with Staub looking left and then putting that one right out in front where Williams can run right under it. Well, that's throwing the football right there.
Staub on the move, hit, and it dropped by Jalen Garner.
Well, you got to throw it somewhere. Have an advantage. You got to get the ball out of your hands. You cannot take a sack in this situation. Just let that baby go somewhere back of the end zone. Trying to get.
And this kick is good. 5 field goals for Ethan Sanchez. It's still split snaps with Stampley, who left the game with an injury. Thrown a little bit behind, but caught by Sincere Brown. First down. And the nickel blitz. Staub evading the pursuit. Was he across the line of scrimmage? Sincere Brown makes the catch, tripped up shy of the 20.
He's got to check the pulse of this team to see who they're reacting to at that particular position.
A wire-to-wire win for Houston.